Hey,
Shawn,
good to
how
see
are
ya.
you? Good to see you too.
Good.
I remember we talked way back in the first season. I had only been on a couple episodes. Second season was so good.
Yeah,
the first
thank you.
season was epic, but the second season kicked its behind, I thought.
Yeah, it was a big year. Yeah, for sure.
Your performance was so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
The emotional stuff when
Thanks.
your dad was killed and all of that. How did you adjust? How did you prepare for that? Where did you go to get that performance?
I just imagined what it would be like to have that experience happen. It's, the interesting thing about The Following is that it tends to be a heightened emotional reality for us. The world is so extreme, but it's nothing that you can't imagine. You know what I mean? The idea of losing your father, losing your family, losing your friends is a very real thing, and something that I feel like we all deal with in one way or another. So yeah, I just tried to keep it as real as possible and as raw as possible. The great thing about playing Mike Weston is that he doesn't have walls up, so he can be as emotional as you would want to be. You know what I mean? I don't think he hides anything, and so I like that openness in Mike. He reacts and is open with whatever the situation is. So it was a difficult season, to be honest. I got put through the ringer again. That's kind of what I love about this show and about this character. So it was a good year, but definitely challenging emotionally.
Well, and you spent a lot more time with Kevin in a lot more scenes, it seemed like, to me anyway. And then also with the new female character.
Yeah, with Max Hardy.
Thank you.
New love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, are we going to see any more of that? I'm assuming we are.
Yeah. Again, I don't have all the details, but we pick up about a year after the events of season 2. And yeah, Max and Mike are still in a relationship. And how that works out, I'm not really sure. Knowing The Following and knowing the world that we're in, I'm sure it will not be an easy relationship. But, I think Mike is still tortured by everything that's happened to him, the loss of his father. He's still obsessed with hunting down the rest of the Gray family. He's killed Lily, and Luke is gone, but Mark is still out there. So I think Mike is still going to be very obsessed with that, and probably that may drive a wedge between those two characters. But I think that Max represents a really great new chapter for Mike and potential happiness, and so I think that he's going to try to hold on to that, but it might be a challenge.
Which I hope that's the case because he had like you said, he had a rough year.
Yeah.
And it was very hardened because it was interesting.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Bacon's character last year, he was like, "What's wrong with you, dude?" kind of thing. And then this year, you were like him a lot.
Mike and Ryan mirror each other, I think,
Right.
and I think it's an interesting journey because as we found Ryan in the pilot, he was already hardened, and we start to learn a little bit about how he got there. But to see Mike go from like the fanboy in episode 1 to emotionally where he's at the end of episode 2, it really mirrors what Ryan Hardy's journey was prior in the Joe Carroll case before we met him. So I thought that was a really interesting way to tell the story, show Mike's descent, but also mirror what was happening to Ryan. So yeah, it was a tough year.
It was amazing. Well, I can't wait for season 3. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's so great
Good
to
see
meet
you.
you. Thanks.